Good morning. It's March 1st. We got a new month, and welcome to Savannah Community Headlines Live, a weekly gathering around the virtual water cooler. Can't believe it's been a year since we launched the water cooler as a safe space to stay connected virtually throughout this pandemic. So if you're watching, please join the conversation live. Share your good news in the chat area below, and we will try and pull it on. So, Kat?
I know. I was just telling my husband this morning, I can't believe it's been a year already. It's been actually a little over a year. I'm stunned. It doesn't even feel like that long. And the good things that are happening, that have been happening, is we've actually grown a lot more than we ever thought we would. We are now streaming live on 6 Facebook outlets, to include, shout out to the Isle of Hope News. Thank you, Ed Yannette. And of course, the Metropolitan Savannah Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And thank you always to Alfonso.
Absolutely. So hosting today is Catalina Garcia-Quick, and I'm Marjorie Young. And today's guests include 3 women who are launching a YouTube series, TV series with Skyway Pictures. And they have the coolest story. Last year, they took off across the country during the pandemic in an RV across the United States. They went 6,000 miles to go glamping. I can't wait to go glamping.
That's the only way I'll go. That's the only way I'll go camping, is if it's glamping.
Well, we're going to pull them on, and please welcome, let me pull them on. We've got Nicole Casino, Chris Wetters, and Ara Riggs. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Great.
How on earth did this all happen? How did you all get this cool adventure going, and then to end up in a TV series? Nicole?
Well, Chris here, aka Tina, last year decided that she didn't want to be quarantined and that we were not going to cancel our annual girls trip, and we could not go on an airplane. So she made a suggestion that maybe we should get an RV and go across country. And then
a week later, this one we call Turbo, because she does everything super fast. And the next week we had an RV, and we literally drove it out of Camping World and straight to a RV park, and not really even knowing how to
do anything.
I thought that maybe they had RV'd before. Turns out no. Figured it out, and thank goodness the RV community, when you go to RV parks, are so friendly that, you know, it helped. A lot of people like pitched in and helped us, and that's kind of how it all started.
So how did you connect with Skyway Pictures? They just chimed in.
Aw.
Hey, Skyway.
hey, Skyway.
How did you connect with them? I mean, they're a huge. I mean, I heard they actually have worked with like John Travolta and
John Travolta, Morgan Freeman. Yeah,
they have Emmys.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, how did you guys connect to create this upcoming TV series on YouTube?
A mutual friend connected us, and they saw what we were doing and checked it out, and it was an immediate like love and just magic. Yeah.
They realized how entertaining it is to watch 3 women just trying to figure out a man's job, and they just decided to team up with us and put this together for the broader general public to watch and be entertained by our shenanigans.
Yeah. Okay, so who's in this picture right here?
In the black is Julio with Skyway Pictures, and then it's the 3 glampers, and on the left with the plaid shirt is Jim Wacker with Skyway Pictures.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was very excited to watch y'all filming the trailer, and tell us about what this picture is. That's your mini RV, right? What did you name it?
the Mini Winnie. She's pretty much her own character. And she has had a little trouble since we got her.
A lot of trouble.
So not really knowing a whole lot about RVs, we find ourselves doing, and especially Ara, because she's our engineer, we find ourselves doing a lot of figuring out what's going on with the RV, a lot of learning.
A lot of maintenance. Okay, so the whole premise is you went across country last year. You did 6,000 miles, and you videotaped things along the way. You captured everything, and now you're going to take a lot of that and turn it into the series, right?
Yes, and the premise of our show is not just three girls in an RV trying to travel and figure out how to work an RV. We travel, but we travel specifically to adventures. So we find adventures that we can do, outdoor adventures, fishing, hunting, hiking, whitewater rapids, any kind of adventure that we can get ourselves into. We also film that as well. So it's the camping, the RV, the travel, and the adventure.
And I would imagine during COVID, it was a safe way to travel and see the world, or see the United States, right?
Exactly. That's what made this whole trip kind of come about, is we are 5-star resort type girls, and we love to get on a plane, and we love to go to a fancy hotel and be pampered and get glammed up. And COVID, kind of squashed all that. So we tried to find outdoor fun, safe activities that would not be around crowds of people, kind of reconnect with nature and figure out what we've really kind of figured out what a vacation is kind of supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. We think we've been maybe doing it wrong.
Yeah. It's like it kind of challenged us to do stuff outside the box, and we found out, of course, there's lots of other people RVing, and so the RV community, of course, has grown, and RVs are almost sold out and difficult to find the right ones because so many people are taking this time to reevaluate their lives because they can work from home and they can travel in their conversion van or their RV. So it's kind of like we just sprung right into a new norm, and it's been great experiencing nature. We've probably seen more sunsets and sunrises than we've ever seen in one year. So that's pretty cool.
So with you traveling, the three of you, 3 single women across the United States, I mean, how safe do you feel doing that? I bet you get asked that a lot.
Yes, my mom was completely concerned, but I told her to not worry about it. I was safer with these 2 rootin' tootin' cowgirls than I was any man I've ever traveled with.
Yeah. And we do carry guns.
Yeah, period.
They're packing more than wine in that cooler.
Yeah. We're not afraid to defend ourselves.
Good. So what is a typical day on the road like?
Well, when we're on the road, we wake up, and since we're glamping, we always pack our espresso maker and
of course.
So we wake up in the morning, we have lattes, smoothie, we make breakfast. Then we usually find an outdoor adventure. We go on a hike, depending on where we are. And then Tornado here gets the Mini Winnie ready for her travels. So we have to dump the crapper.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh is right. Glamping ain't all.
And we got to fill up with water. One time we actually ran out of water while hooked up to water.
No.
So, you have to figure out those things. There's certain buttons that you have to push. And so a typical day, is just kind of figuring out, having our latte, having breakfast, doing an adventure, and then getting the Mini Winnie on the road to the next adventure spot.
So Nicole, I want you to talk about your all's nicknames and how you got them.
So I nicknamed Aura Tornado. Over the years that I've known her, she likes to swirl around and pop up in places where it's unexpected, and you never know where she's going to show up. You never know when she's going to disappear. And sometimes she breaks like hearts along the way, so she causes a little destruction. Not the tornado's fault that it's destroying things. And then I'll let Ara describe how Chris got her name.
So Christina here, we didn't even know her name. Her full name was Christina, because that's usually when she's getting in trouble by her mama. So we just know her as Chris. And then we joked and said, we're going to find Tina, because she lost the Tina part. So we're going to try and find her, because she a new empty nester. She lost her jobs in the COVID because she's an events coordinator. So everything that she was doing was a complete 180. So she was like, okay, now what?
So our glamping job is to help Tina find herself.
Yes.
I feel your pain, Tina.
So many of us feel lost.
Yeah.
And then,
And then we call Nicole Casino Turbo, because everything she does is in super fast mode. And so even when she Winnie, she gets in and she literally puts her boot, the pedal to the metal, and it takes like 5 minutes for the back of the RV to catch up with the front of the RV. So we just call her Turbo, because she turbos up everything we do. Like, let's start documenting. She started Glamping Adventure page, and the next thing I know, we have all these followers, and we just started documenting our travels.
If it wasn't
You do have a lot of followers, and what are the different channels that people can follow you on?
we're on pretty much all social media outlets. We have a Facebook group, a Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and now we recently started TikTok.
And that
I love TikTok.
Yes.
Yay.
It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. And you do have a website. Let me pull up your let me pull that up here. Hold on a second. Tell me about your logo here.
The logo.
Oh, I love it.
I'm in the middle. Turbo likes to shoot guns.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I like to hunt. We all hunt, but I love to shoot sporting clays and things like that too. We have Tornado on the right with the camera. She is our merchandising person, photographer, and the token sexy one. You know, we always tell her to get in a bikini. People want to see. People want to see that she works out. You know, one of us has to work out and be sexy. So then we have Tina on the left. She is the fisherwoman primarily of the group, and there she is with her fishing pole and her catch. So our fans actually helped us build this logo. We started a logo contest online, and this is our end result.
Very good. Well, for folks that don't know what glamping is, give us what is glamping?
With a higher quality of
glamorous
luxuries and
Glamorous camping.
People thought we made it up, and they didn't even know what the word was until.
Well,
Yeah, there are no tents in glamping
well,
unless it's been done by a designer and comes with champagne.
there are glamping tents, which we are actually in the process of creating a campground, a glamping campground ourselves. We'll have glamorous tents with hardwood floor and air conditioning.
Wow.
And 5-star linens. So glamping just means you're not roughing it.
Yeah.
Okay. You get espresso in the morning, and when I was on set with you guys, I noticed you were cooking bacon outside, and it was quite the setup. it was very nice, very nice. So guess what? We've got a really special guest in the back that just came in. Hold on one second. Let me pull. Hold on. Let me pull our very, very, very special guest on here. Oh my goodness!
There he is.
Oh my goodness!
Mayor Van. Woo-hoo.
Mayor,
I want to see Mayor Van. I want to see Mayor Van glamping. That's what I want to see.
Yes.
Yes.
Look, for the last year, that's all I've been doing is glamping. It hasn't been very glamorous, but it's been camping. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us on the water cooler. A very safe way for all of us to network for the past year. And I'm so glad that you actually found the time to come on and update us with some cool things with the city. Because I'm always tuning into your Friday night.
Yes. Well, and now he also
I finally got invited. I
Motivational
mean, I've been
Monday.
trying for all year to get invited, and I finally got invited. So, I mean, I feel like I really hit my next stride now.
Mayor, you are invited anytime you would like to come on. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I go glamping at the same time?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
They might have to come by and pick you up on their next trip here.
Let's go.
Yes.
Wonderful.
That's hilarious.
So, Mayor, what's happening? What should we let Savannah know?
Well, I think we need to let Savannah know that the weather is beautiful. Yesterday, this weekend, absolutely phenomenal weather. Best weather we've had all year. Mid 80s today. It'll be raining, but we're in that great weather pattern. That being said, people would want to be able to kind of be footloose and fancy free, but we have to remind people that we are still in the midst of a pandemic. Our numbers still fluctuate greatly. There are people still being infected, even though people are being vaccinated. And this is not the time when we're so close to getting to where we need to be for people to abandon the wisdom that has gotten us this far. And that's wearing a mask, that's washing your hands, and that's watching your distance. And we have a lot of visitors coming to town. I was downtown all over the weekend, and I mean, folks just not wearing masks. I mean, again, for us, we have to get to that point. And so I'm just hoping and continuing to ask people to please, again, it's just great wisdom. Wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. And then, of course, once the vaccine is available for you, get vaccinated. Absolutely.
What advice would you give everybody watching on where to get the vaccines? How do you find out about that?
There is a link. The health department's portal is open. The coastal health districts has a portal. Right now, they were in phase 1A. I believe they're in 1B now, going to 1B. So if you're 65 or older, you can get it by right. If you're a caregiver of someone 65 or older, if you take care of your parents, you can get it. And then starting on March the 8th, certain groups of students and public school employees are able to get the vaccine as well. So we're expanding it. And then, of course, with the announcement of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine being available, it's a one-shot deal. So again, more opportunities for people to be vaccinated. And I think for us, we just have to keep on this road. I mean, we're almost a year into this. It was a year ago today that we actually heard about this vaccine. And then, of course, as our story goes, on March the 20th, we had our first case in Chatham County. And on March 22nd, we had our first 2 deaths. So, we're really in this thing. I really want us to get out of it. Savannah has done relatively so well as opposed to the rest of our country. Our businesses, although very difficult for them, have managed to be able to stay open, and we've worked with them to stay open. But at the end of the day, we have to cross the finish line. We can't, get out of the race right now.
Absolutely.
I was reading over the weekend, Dr. Davis said we've given over, the public health department has just gave over like 3,500 shots just last week. And in Chatham County, we are at about 82,000 shots or vaccines already in total. It's amazing how fast it's going.
Right. But in the meantime, you still have, that means you still have more people who have not had it than the people who have had it. And so that's why, again, the mask is still important. Again, people are out, they're enjoying themselves, and we want them to enjoy themselves. We want them to enjoy Savannah, but we have to be able to do it safely. We could easily slip back into a pattern of high infections, high hospitalizations, and that's just not good for our city.
I've got a question. When we're walking outside, like walking through Forsyth Park, you want us to wear the mask. Is that right?
I think it models good behavior because Savannahans generally, now there is a provision in my emergency declaration. If you're walking like for exercise, you don't have to wear it alone. But you know how Savannahans are. Everybody say, "Oh, hey, Marjorie." Next thing you know, everybody's in Marjorie's face, and then that's how it spreads. It spreads just that casual. It's just good behavior, good modeling behavior. So even when I'm walking down the street, I just wear a mask just to be able to show that's the behavior we want to see.
Set the example.
Yes.
Oh, we've got some glamping questions.
Uh-oh.
The glamping girls have questions.
Uh-oh.
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
If you've had all of your vaccines, do you still need to wear a mask?
Yes. And the message we've get beginning from the CDC as it relates to that is that in Georgia, we also now have other strands of the virus that are present in our state. And so although you might be vaccinated from one strand of COVID, there might be the other strands that have been coming from other places that you could get infected by. And so until we really know how these alternate strands are working out, until we know how effective the current vaccines are against these additional strands, it's just wise to go ahead and wear a mask.
Or just buy an RV and go camping.
Well,
Yes.
right. It is very good to buy an RV and go camping with people and stay in that bubble with those people. Yeah. And, then you don't wear a mask because you're in the bubble.
I love that you girls decided that you were going to create your own bubble and and carry that bubble and go check out the country and do all those fun things. I think that's awesome.
But that's what I appreciate about them. This COVID has really, as bad as it is, it has created opportunities for creativity, new ways of doing things and thinking of things. I mean, we would not have the water cooler if it was not for COVID.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be doing a Friday Night Live or Motivational Monday because we'd be too busy, and glamping may not have been the vogue thing to do. So I mean, we have to kind of embrace the time that we're living in and our creativity in this time.
Well, and COVID has been so hard on people's mental stability as well, and depression and being antisocial and staying inside and not going to your normal events. It really wears on people's mental capacity to just feel normal. Right. So we love that the glamping and the camping allows you an opportunity to go reconnect with nature again, and that helps your mental stability and depression so much. Is just to find your own small tribe of people, that your bubble, and just get outdoors where you're not around a bunch of people, but you don't have to stay shut in the house.
Right. But the interesting thing is, I mean, we got so busy during COVID. I mean, before COVID, I mean, we became so disconnected that we really forgot how connected we needed to be and that we have to be. Because now we miss people, we miss the connections, we miss those things. And so I'm hoping that we will have a much better opportunity when this is all over for us really to recognize the value we have for each other. I think God kind of created us for each other and to be with each other. And so I just miss people. I just miss kind of being around people just for the sake of being around people. And Savannah, we're a social city. We just like being around folks. So hopefully this helps us to care more and to love more and to help other people more and be more supportive. So if that's the after effect of COVID, then that's something better for us.
Silver lining.
I love your show on Friday night, Mayor. I just feel like it is such a nice way to end the work week and get connected and hear wonderful lessons and hear wonderful speakers. It really, It makes my heart.
I look
very
forward
happy.
to it.
I do too.
It's the only date night my husband allows me to go on if he's not there.
Well, believe it or not, it kind of happened like after, like the water cooler happened. It happened on March the 19th, so we're almost a year.
Yeah.
Every Friday for the past year, we've been getting together. And I mean, this has been on Christmas, it's been on New Year's. And what we found out was, it started off just as a way to give information about the coronavirus. And then it just became much more social. So we ended up, easily with one point, our highest watermark was 2,000 people on one event. And then we probably averaged between 200 and 500 every Friday. And, we recognized there were people who just, didn't have the connection. So now we have people who are they're like friends and they don't know each other. They never met each other, but yet they look forward to kind of being together. And so, really for me, it's more therapeutic because I just miss folks. And so, I get to sit around and vent and rant for about an hour, and I feel better after that. I just go to sleep. And I appreciate you all always being there too.
I think it's great that, one of the things you said, and you went into this a pretty good bit a couple Fridays ago, small business and all of that. We've all had to pivot, and some of us, one of I think it was Tina said she was an event person, and that industry just disappeared, really. And then I've come from the nonprofit sector, and our events just vanished and things that we do. And so on one hand, on the business side, it caused a lot of small business to pivot. It also caused business to learn how to connect in new ways. But on the family side of things, on the personal side of things, like our glamping crew, they figured out ways to remain connected and go do those things. I know for me, even Marjorie, we do these family Zoom calls on the weekends. I never used to do that,
right.
Or, more things, I packed up my family last weekend on Saturday. We put our masks on and we went downtown and we went and looked at all the historical monuments, and just what my family will tell you, I'm notorious to take them down to walk around and look at stuff, and just more time together, more time outside, but not actually face to face, and a lot more time outdoors. And so I think it's done, like you said, it forced us to slow down and stop and put the phones away and do all that.
And the people that are most important.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so we've been able to do that. And so, I mean, even from the Friday Night Live perspective, I mean, we started, and then actually you all helped us with this. I don't know if you knew this, but particularly around the holidays, we came up with this plan. I think one of y'all might have suggested it, but we were buying gift cards for local businesses, and we had to run around buying gift cards so that these businesses would have the cash influx that they would need from people just purchasing gift cards and then using them later. And then the other thing that we did, again, probably spearheaded by you all, was to create opportunities in which we were spotlighting local businesses and telling people, hey, if you're responsible, if you're a restaurant and you're insisting that masks be worn, we want to lift you up, we want to support you. And we've had people come and say, hey, somebody said they heard about us on Friday Night Live and they want to come and hang out. So, for us, this is Savannah Strong. This is Savannians taking care of Savannians.
We're so lucky to be part of this community. I often tell people Savannah is the best place to have a small business. We've got so much. Oh my gosh, we've got so many people that care, like our mayor, like SCORE, like the Entrepreneurial Center, like Small Business Development Center. I mean,
like the Glamping girls.
Like the Glamping girls.
We all moved here from somewhere else.
Well,
I think, go ahead.
The encouragement part is kind of what started our whole social media movement, is that we first started it because we didn't know what we were doing, and we just wanted to ask questions to other people who've bought an RV before or who have been camping. But then it started evolving into us encouraging other women to go out of their comfort zone and figure out a new way of entertainment and a new way of travel and adventure for them too. So we love being a part of the Savannah community and helping other women, not only women, but just anybody who just kind of wants to maybe be more outdoorsy, who've never tried that before. They could go to our platforms and see that if we can do it, we call ourselves the blonde leading the blondes. And if the blonde can figure it out, then everybody else can too. So we love just being that source of encouragement and giving other people ideas, like these are things that you can do safely with your family during a pandemic.
Absolutely. It's been so inspirational to see so many of those videos. It was like, gosh, and I've just been sitting here. I could be in the great outdoors.
Well, I have a question. What the day is going to come where we are looking at COVID in our rearview mirror? Will glamping still go on, or will it be a casualty about freedom?
I think it's a new culture. It's a cultural movement.
Going back.
There's no going back. I feel like these giant concerts and these huge event venues, they're going to start dwindling down to more private events and smaller, intimate gatherings. And people need to know, how do I go outside and adventure? And I feel like this is a whole cultural movement of families getting together and enjoying nature and the outdoors more. And
what's really important in life.
Yes, and camping, whether you're camping, because you don't need any money to go camping. You know, glamping is only as glamorous as you want to make it. So really, it's just a whole nother outlet for a lot of people to connect, and I don't think it'll ever slow down.
It's the silver lining.
It's funny. It's funny. I was telling my husband last night, we sit at night for about the last 10 or 15 minutes before my daughter goes to bed. We sit there and we watch TikTok every night, like TV. And Marjorie and I are painfully addicted to TikTok.
It's so creative. It's like a mini TikTok.
Yes. And so we were looking at TikToks, and they were showing these, the tiny homes and RVs and all these people moving into their vans and campers and things. And, a lot of people don't know this. When I came back to Savannah, it's been 7 years now, but when my husband and I moved our family back to Savannah, we had been in California for 10 years, and he was part of this massive layoff at his company. And we just decided, you know what, we're just going to cold turkey, just move back, and we'll figure out what happens when we get there. And we had this fifth wheel RV that sort of unfolded, and we drove across country. We packed up our house, we put it in storage. We pulled our RV across country. We went and parked it out at Redgate Farms. And we were like, we'll just base out of there, look for a job, look for a house, do all the things. And we were in that thing like 6 months. And it was awesome. Like, we'd get up, like I had my Keurig and my espresso and all my things in there. And we'd get up and, I'd make my coffee and my latte in the morning, and we'd go out and fish in the pond in the afternoon. And then at night we'd go have a cocktail downtown Savannah. So it was really, I'm like, we were ahead of our time.
Yeah. And now,
but it's something people do now. People are, it's not weird. You're not that weird, creepy person living in the camper. Now it's like a culture, like you said, and a movement.
You work from home now, and your kids don't have to go to school now. Before, it was an odd thing if you homeschooled your kids, or it was just not, some people just looked at it differently. Now it's culturally acceptable to work from home and to homeschool your kids. So now we live anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I think I told my daughter that we were talking about this next year. We have a friend, he's a financial planner. That's his job. His wife is a local artist, and she was a former teacher. And they have older kids that are out of school and in college, and their one younger daughter is in like middle school. And they pulled her out into online school, and they bought an RV, and they're just going all over the country, and that's what they're doing. And she goes to school every day, but she's online. And I think in some cases, I mean, they're not going to do it forever, but in some cases, that's a better education than you could ever get sitting in a classroom. It's a shame more don't have that access and opportunity.
It'll be the most memorable couple years for those kids.
It takes
so what else is going on? What else is going on, Mayor Van? I know you've got to get off here in about 5 minutes or so. What do we have? What's the most important thing we need to know happening in Savannah right now besides COVID? Do we have any updates
Wear a
on
mask.
like the
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch it. I mean, I say that I think in my sleep. But it's just so critically important that we do that, support our local businesses. Savannah has actually adopted what we call Savannah First. Savannah First means that the Savannah city government, any opportunities that we have to do business locally, we're going to do it first. Doesn't mean Savannah only, but it means Savannah first. We've increased our local preference to what the maximum of what the law will allow for us, again, to create opportunities for us to do business locally. And I think that's really important. But, the greatest thing about it is that, again, we have people in our community that care. And again, these businesses, the business owners are part of our community. Support them, support them, support them. Support them in advance, support them in the present moment. And as long as they're being safe, I certainly encourage people to be able to do that. That's how we get through this. And believe it or not, I talk to mayors weekly from across the country, and then of course here in Georgia, and some of their cities are decimated. Businesses not open, businesses closed, entire, broad streets, if you will, main streets, totally not open at all. And again, we've suffered. We've had our share of miscues. People have really had hard times, but relatively speaking, Savannah is a blessed city. And so I think that is just because, as Marjorie said, it's because of the people and the supportive atmosphere. And we just have to keep that going. We just have to keep going. We have to stay creative. We have to be able to find ways to smile during adversity and just recognize that, we keep the faith that it's going to get better, but we follow the science because it tells us how to get better. And then tonight, because the other thing that came from this was we started what was called Motivational Mondays. And Motivational Mondays is kind of like the water cooler. So yes, I kind of, bet it's not as fancy as, all that y'all got going on. I have to do the StreamYard thing, and Marjorie said she would help me. But it's really ways that while we're in this quiet time, we need to find ways to get better. And government doesn't make everything better for everybody. It's really sometimes opportunities for us. So we've talked about issues of law. We've talked about estate planning. We've talked about voting. And tonight, this is the first of a 3-part series that we call Money March. And so tonight we're talking about raising your credit score, And I'm sure that can help everybody. Tonight, at Mayor Johnson SAV, and that's on Facebook. And that's tonight at 7:00 p.m. Be glad to have you join us.
Gosh, I wish this kind of information could be taught in school.
Well, oh, yeah.
I know JA teaches a lot of it, but this is just crucial information all of us need to know.
But now we talk about how to raise it. I think we have to really talk to young people about how to not let it drop in the first place.
Right.
When I was in college, they used to give out credit cards like it was water. Some of y'all may not be old enough to remember, but those Sears credit cards.
Oh Lord.
They were like the devil. I
had to threaten my daughter. I'm like, if you I had to threaten my daughter. Don't you dare. Like, if you want me to pay for anything in college, if you want to keep that BMW, if you want to keep that allowance and those things that you're doing, you sign up for one credit card and it's
the interesting thing about
bombarded.
The whole credit card thing was like in Sears, it was such a sham in a way. You charge up $1,000 and then it'll
take you 25 years to pick it off.
Right. And it'll say your payment this month is $10. So if I pay $20, it will say you don't owe a payment for next month either. But at the same time, they're adding $30 as it relates to your interest charges. So you never really got out of it. Like you said, it took 20 years to get rid of $1,000. And so we recognize people have made mistakes. People have done things that, in retrospect, they would not have done had they known better, or people get into hard times. And this is hard.
Well, even COVID has caused a lot of people's credit scores to tank.
some people are, living off their credit card. So, this is some very practical ways of helping people to get through this very difficult time. And again, we're all in this together. And so I'm just glad to be able to do my part. But I got to run. I got to go be the mayor.
Mayor, I want you to know that there are so many businesses actually from Europe that are specifically selecting Savannah for a lot of reasons. And
really,
the press conference on Wednesday at 10 a.m. is a company called Adamer from Romania, and they are coming. They've got this new app that they want the city of Savannah to do a beta test, and it helps track all the folks that are vulnerable. And they've been written up in the Wall Street Journal in Romania and through Europe, but they selected Savannah.
We want people all over the world. Come on, Romania.
Yeah.
Come on.
But anyhow,
thank you all so much. I'm so honored to have hung out finally after being a mayor.
I'm so glad you were awake last night when I pinged you.
Yeah, you know how late that was, right? That shows you I have no life. I'm up, listening, but I mean,
watching TikTok.
That's right. But then to be on with the glampers, I mean, this starts my week off right. I mean, what a way to start the month of March. So, I'm feeling good about myself already. So I think I'm gonna go and take on the world today.
Yeah,
glad we could have you here this morning.
Gosh,
let's do it again.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right.
Thank y'all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Oh, what a wonderful surprise that was.
Yeah.
Thank you for coordinating that.
We were that happened during, like I said, my daughter and I watched TikToks at night, and then I was sitting there and Marjorie and I were chatting, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see what Mayor Van's up to. Hey, by the way, and he answered me right back. I'm like, dude's working 10:30 at night, right on.
Oh my gosh.
You need to get on the Glamping Adventures TikTok.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So tell us when does your first show actually air? Is it on in where and when and how and all of that?
In the trailer, when's that showing up?
Well, we just finished the trailer. We're finalizing the music on the trailer right now before we can release it. The trailer just introduces the characters of the show. And our first episode is being edited right now as we speak, and we should have that out in hopefully a week or two. We'll have our first episode, and then episodes will just be flowing after that.
Oh God, that is just so exciting. And that's just another example of small businesses happening in Savannah, not only with the glampers, but Skyway and Savannah's on fire.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this program. I really am. I can't wait to see it. I'm super excited because we have a saying. I grew up with 4 brothers who went fishing and hunting, and we grew up in the mountains up by Lake Tahoe. And I did all that stuff. And, my dad worked on cars. And I learned all that stuff when I was younger. I was a total tomboy. So now that I'm older, I can, just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? And so we have blue jobs and pink jobs in my house. And the camping thing, I did all that. We had a tent, and then we had the pop-up tent, and then we had the Winnebago, and then we had the 5th wheel. So our next purchase, we're actually shopping now, is my husband and I, we're going to buy one of those big diesel pusher buses.
Yes.
And I threatened my kids a long time ago. I said, you can't take it with you, and I'm not leaving it behind. And so we're going to put tiny houses in your backyard to store all our stuff. And me and your dad are taking off in a bus.
Right.
And it will be a glamping bus because, now I'm over 50 now. And so now I don't do dirt, and I don't do creepy crawlies, and I don't do snakes in the tent, and I don't do any of that stuff. Now I have to have my Keurig and my espresso machine, and I am full-on foo-foo camper girl. So
You're
yeah,
a camper now.
I'm a glamper. I've been a glamper for a good 10 years now.
Perfect.
So yes, I'm excited. I'm excited for your show.
So let's see. Wait a second. We've got
we have a fur baby out there that needs a home, don't we? This morning.
Oh yeah. It's getting to the top of the hour, and I've got to head down to Rotary. But before we go, I want to show you all this. Look at this boy. This is Breezy. Can you see Breezy? Sort of, kind of there.
Very cute.
What kind of dog is he?
I don't know what kind of dog he is. I don't have that up in my feed this morning. I apologize. Liz can probably put him all the Coastal Pet Rescue details. Liz will put them in our feed so people can get all the details. But he's beautiful.
You know,
He looks like he just needs to be glammed up for glamping. He would be a good road dog.
He looks like an RVer.
He does. He's already in the back of a car. Oh my gosh. Oh, poor baby. At least the Scarborough does such a great job with that.
I can't talk this morning. Good Lord. Coastal Pet Rescue is where you can find out all the information about him. And they've been actually doing quite well over there as far as adoptions, I believe. Just even, there we go. Breezy has so much personality, playful, gentle, patience, loves life, joy in everything. Gumballs, paper towels, all kinds of things along the road when she's going for walks. Let's see. There we go. She's great on a leash or harness. Loves, doesn't like getting in the car, but once she's in, she's down for the ride. See, she needs to go glamping.
Maybe she'll like an RV better.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Well,
all right.
It was so fun having you gals on this show, and I wish you all the best of luck. Please keep us informed of when things start to show up online and when you kick it off.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Happy glamping.
Glampers be glamping.
Glampers be glamping.
All right.
I know, that's fantastic. It's good to see you guys this morning. All right, was that it? Are we good this morning? We got anything else? I think we're good this morning. Go out and get vaccinated. Wear your masks, to quote Mayor Van.
And we'll see y'all next Monday. I mean, we're on most Mondays, not every Monday, but most Mondays. So we'll see y'all next